Hello everyone. I Kailash Kumar sir welcome you all on this online edu classes of Britain Public School. Dear students, in this video we are continuing with our previous topic of Unit 2 Section 1 A Day in the Country written by Anton Chekhov. This is the third part of our video. So before moving ahead, let us have a quick recap what we studied in the previous part. So, while on the way towards Count Scop, Terenti began to teach Fiocla about the natural phenomena of rainfall and the benefits we, the humans, gain by rainfall on this earth. Terenti tells Fiocla that the grasses and trees are fed by the rain, the same way as we are fed by bread. He also tells that she should not be worried and frightened as the thunder and lightning was not going to harm her. He further added to his statement that after the rainfall the sun will rise again and the same process will be repeated. Finally, while walking about the thunder, lightning, rainfall, and over the wet, muddy, and slippery road, they reached to the place where the young boy Danilka's hand was stuck inside the hole of a lime tree while taking out Cuckoo's eggs. Now, after rescuing the boy, they all began walking back towards their home, following a different path, as the former path was totally wet, muddy, and slippery. So on the way back home, Danilka asks number of questions to Terenti as he was too much curious to know about the changes in the nature which the boy had experienced on this day. Terenti further instructed these two kids that the nightingale is a singing bird, its voice praises the god and gladdens the human heart. So it's a sin to disturb this bird. So this was all about in the previous topic, dear students. Now let us move ahead and explore the further chapter. So on the way back home, they saw that a bright patch of blue appears in the sky, which was a clear indication that there will be no further rainfall that day. Look, says Terenti, an ant heap burst open by the rain. They have been flooded. So here is an ant heap. As per the story, it has been flooded by the rainfall and the ants are moving here and there to save their life. They bend over the ant heap. The downpour means rainfall has damaged it. The insects are scurrying to and fro in the mud, agitated and busily trying to carry away their drowned companions. Dear students, as you can see that the ants are helping their other companions who are drowned and they are trying to rescue them, they are trying to save them. Scurrying means running quickly with short steps, as due to rainfall these tiny creatures are totally disturbed, and agitated means worried or excited. So these are very quickly trying to save their near and dear ones who are drowned due to the rainfall. That won't happen to you, says Terenti, grinning. Grinning means giving a broad smile by showing the teeth. In fact, Terenti is telling something important here, that such condition will not be faced by them here. Why? Because they are big enough in size that such less rainfall is not going to create a flood situation here. So such situation or such condition they are not going to face. As soon as the sun warms you, you will come to your senses again. It's a lesson to you. You won't settle on low ground another time. They go on, and here are some bees, cries Danilka, pointing to the branch of a young oak tree. So here is the beehive, and you can see the bees flying around that beehive, which was there in the branch of a young oak tree. The drenched means totally wet due to rainfall, and chilled bees are huddled together on the branch. Huddled means to get close to other people or other bees due to cold or fear. There are so many of them that neither bark nor leaf can be seen. Yes, dear students, that the number of bees are in several numbers here, that the neither the bark of the tree nor the leaf of the oak tree is visible clearly here. Many of them are settled on one another. That's a swarm of bees. Here, group of bees are called as swarm of bees. Terenti informs them. So let us move further. They were flying looking for a home, and when the rain came down upon them, they settled. If a swarm is flying, you need only sprinkle water on them to make them settle. Now, if, say, you wanted to take the swarm, you would bend the branch with them into a sack and shake it. They all fall in. So, this is the process how to take a swarm if you want to take them all. Little Phaeocla suddenly frowns and rubs her neck vigorously. Her brother looks at her neck and sees a big swelling on it. As you can see in this image, that little girl Phaeocla got a swelling on her neck. Vigorously means energetically or forcefully. She rubbed her neck energetically, very forcefully, and because of that, she got a big swelling on her neck. Now the next question was, how did she grew that swelling? Hey, hey, laughs the cobbler. Do you know where you got that from? Phaeocla, old girl. Now, dear students, we are also curious to know from where this swelling appeared on her neck. Let us explore the story further and come to know about this question. There are Spanish flies on some tree in the wood. The rain has trickled off them and a drop has fallen on your neck. That's what has made the swelling. Trickle means to flow in a thin line like raindrops. Here actually what happened, dear students, the raindrops falling over these Spanish flies has fallen on Phaeocla's neck. The raindrops which are mixed or which are in contact with these Spanish flies, which created the itching sensation that led to rub her neck vigorously, ultimately leading to a swelling on her neck. So this was the reason for the growth of the swelling. Let us move ahead. The sun appears from behind the clouds and floods the wood, the fields and the three friends with its warm light. Here, soon after when the rainfall stopped, the sun reappeared from behind the clouds and there was a light in the woods and the three friends, and everything was visible there clearly and properly. The dark menacing cloud has gone far away and taken the storm with it. The air is warm and fragrant. There is a scent of bird cherry, meadow sweet, and lilies of the valley. Menacing means threatening or frightening. So the clouds were actually, due to the thunder and lightning, they were seemed as threatening or frightening cloud. So they all have gone far away. Now the storm is no more there, and there is also filled with a pleasing fragrant smell, and there is a scent of bird cherry and the meadow sweet and lilies of the valley all around there in that valley. Let us move ahead, students. That herb is given when your nose bleeds, says Terenti, pointing to a woolly looking flower. It does good. Now here Terenti is teaching them another lesson of the nature, that particular herb, as you can see in this image, is given when in case of nose bleeding. So this is how it looks like. It is a woolly looking flower. So it does good. It heals us when we are applying this herb in case of nosebleed. Now next was that they hear a whistle and a rumble, but not such a rumble as the storm clouds carried away. So here these two children, Fiocla and Danilka, heard a different kind of whistling and rumbling sound, which was totally different from the thundering and the lightning which the storm clouds had carried away with him. A goods train races by before the eyes of Terenti, Danilka, and Fiocla. The engine, panting and puffing out black smoke, drags more than 20 vans after it. Its power is tremendous. So they saw a goods train running before them, and the engine was panting and puffing out black smokes, and it has the efficiency, it has the power to drag or to pull more than 20 vans after it. So its power is very large, very great, its power is tremendous. So here is the goods train. Right, students? So this is how a goods train runs. The children are interested to know how an engine, not alive and without the help of horses, can move and drag such weights, and Terenti undertakes to explain it to them. So this was the first experience that they saw an engine, and they told that it is not an alive creature, but without the help of horses or without the help of any animal, how it can drag, how it can pull such heavy weights. And the next part was of Terenti. He undertook to explain the whole process, the whole phenomena to them. So on his explanation, he is telling that it's all the steam's doing, children. The steam does the work. You see, it shoves under that thing near the wheels and it works. So here Terenti is telling that the whole process is of steams. The steam has the power to pull these heavy weights after this steam engine. So he also further tells and points that there is a shove under the near the wheels of the steam engine, and this is how it functions, this is how it works. They cross the railway line and going down from the embankment walk towards the river. Now finally they have crossed the railway line and they have reached towards the river. They are walking across the embankment. They walk not with any object but just at random and talk all the way. Danilka asks questions, Terenti answers them. Embankment is a slope made of stones or earth across a river, specially made to hold the water of a river or a water body. So they were walking across the embankment. They were not walking with any objective, but just without any cause, without any reason, they were walking all the way, and these two kids, Fiocla and Danilka, were learning the very important lessons of nature and life. So Danilka was asking number of questions and Terenti was answering the questions of Danilka. So this was all about in this particular video. My dear students, I do believe, I expect that you all have enjoyed this part and you all have very well understood what all things, the series of incidents that happened in this video and in the previous parts. So thank you all, dear students. See you all in the next video, and that will be the last part and the final part of our chapter. So thank you all. Have a blessed day. Have a beautiful day.